Oh, yeah, listen, the thing was walking. Did you finish that first? Okay, well, I guess you can. No, you didn't fucking first. Word? Oh, yeah, stash number. No ticket. That's not working. What the fuck? Well, that's something that doesn't happen very often. It must be so warm the epoxy's cooked off and ain't gonna stick. So I think it's best to cut my losses right now and come back tomorrow when it's cooler, because this one's fucked. I hate wasting materials, but it's a hell of a lot worse than having to grind it all off later. So chuck it in the fuck it bucket. So we live with a serial killer. His name is Junior. He's a psychopath. Just dragged another bird into the boathouse, and we always like to try and get them away from them as soon as we can, because otherwise you'll end up with worms and God knows what else. So I had just mixed a batch of epoxy, was ready to tape up the forward bulkhead, and trying to figure out what to do. So I tried to text Lori to come and get them. That took 3 or 4 minutes. It's warm in here today. It's probably close to 80 degrees. And got the tape wetted out, went to hang it up, and the epoxy kicked off, which means it will not stick. It just rolls up on the roller. When that happens, the only thing you can do is peel it off, throw it away, and start over tomorrow, which means I have to sand all the joints again, put on a little extra glue, fix up the fillets, and yeah, I'm pissed. It's probably, I mean, it's not that much money. It's probably $5 or $6 in epoxy and a couple of bucks worth of tape, but it's taken me an hour to fillet the joints. I wiped them down, mixed the glue, put the fillets in, which now look like shit, by the way, which means they'll have to be sanded and fixed tomorrow, and start all over again. Anybody want a cat? I'll put up a little video of him with one of his trophies, because I've had just about enough of that little bastard. Thanks. See you later. Morning, everybody. It's Friday, July 12th. My name's Rick, and I'm building a boat in my backyard. As you saw earlier, I allowed myself to get distracted by the frickin' cat who had a bird. Junior's a serial psycho bird killer, and we don't like to let him keep his catch, because if he eats them, he'll probably end up with worms and end up in the vet office and God knows what. So Junior got tamed last night. He's now wearing a harness with a collar, and the collar has a bell on it, so hopefully that'll give the birds at least half a chance. But I noticed this morning there was another injured bird in the yard, so I'm done chasing cats and done chasing birds. So this morning I came in, I've sanded the seams that I was trying to tape yesterday. I'm going to vacuum that out, wipe those down, and we'll put some tape on. It looks like I'll have to put a little extra glue on top where I tore the tape off. I took some of the fillets with it, so that's where I am this morning. I like these little yellow Bondo scrapers from Harbor Freight. They've got a really nice little radius on the corner, which helps making fillets, but they're also cheap. I'm cheap. So I've pre-wet out the pieces of glass that I'm going to lay down. They'll just need to be rolled out and they should be fine. I'm using a lighter cloth than I used yesterday. I noticed the other was a bit too wide for the bottom part of the frame, so I'm going with the 6-inch cloth. I think it's around 8 or 9 ounces, I'm not sure.
That was your first. I was here the first. Yeah. That was good. Yeah, right. Apologize for the family in the background. It's a horrendous here. Here's one time to do last night. A little work. You weren't there. There was a work in the here. I really get something about who came on.
One of the things I like to do when I have a little epoxy left over and some offcuts of glass is I'll throw a little extra reinforcement in areas like this. This particular area right on the keel line has probably got, I'd say on the inside, 14 or 15 layers of glass. So this is just adding it up, and it's using epoxy glass that would probably have gotten tossed out anyway, so it's better on the boat than in the garbage can. So So that's probably it for this morning, video-wise anyways. See if I can cobble something together. Those joints may actually get another layer of tape later, but once they set up, I'm going to have to dive in there and get the backside taped. It all has to be sanded. I have to make the floor of the chain locker. See there, it says bottom of the chain locker, and work on my cleats and framing and all that other good stuff. So we'll see what else. Stand by.